What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are back with round 2 from day 2 of the Schaumburg, Chicago, Illinois Adepticon Call It What You Will Vault Tour. Shout out to the lovely folks from Cascade Games for providing the footage here for me to commentate over. I am rather grateful. And on the left we have got Cutthroat Quigley, a Disc Logo Shadows deck. And on the right we've got Seven Little Suzuki Shand Lieutenant, a Disc Logo Sanctum deck. So it looks like Suzuki has gone first and just got a champion and Affiel down, because you can only play one on your first turn. Now, Quigley's having a decent start here. He gets a The Terror down, and if your opponent has no Ember, you gain 2. Which I believe he was actually able to do, which is quite nice. So, we are back over to Suzuki here. I name people after their decks because I have no idea what they're actually called. And straight away we see a champion and Affiel coming down. And there's a Doc Buckton, I believe, as well. And we've even got a Stealer of Souls. So this is good, where we had a phase shift. So I believe it was, yeah, we've got a lot going on here. Very fast-paced. But long story short, Suzuki's now got 3 creatures out. He's only got himself 1 Ember. And Quigley here actually gets double Mother down and a Ganymede Archivist. Mother lets you draw an extra card at the end of your turn. And although Suzuki plays double Mother, which in itself is pretty good, Quigley plays treble Mother, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, we did see a bouncing Death Quark coming down. Lets you destroy one of your creatures, one of your opponents as much as you like, but it's got to be an even number. 1 for you, 1 for them. Leaves us out with double Mother, and a Round Table coming down from Suzuki here. Gives all of your knights +1 power and taunt. Although, to be fair, he's only playing 4 knights, and 3 of them are champion and Affiel, which already have taunt. Now that is terms of redress. Choose a friendly creature to capture 2 Ember, and he's gone for Doc Buckton, which is sensible because you can't attack Doc Buckton because champion and Affiel has got taunt, which means you've got to attack into champion and Affiel. You can't actually go after Doc Buckton. You're not allowed. So that was a nice little play there. And of course, Quigley here's getting a huge advantage. Now Urchin comes down to steal an Ember, but he's got 2 Mother down, which means at the end of the turn, he's drawing to 8 rather than 6. He gets a Ghostly Hand. Ah, so close. If his opponent had 1 fewer Ember, he could have stolen it, but unfortunately not. So we've got a nice brisk pace of play here, which is good, unless you're trying to commentate it. It's a lot more difficult. Yeah, Keyforge is a hard game to cast. Anyone out there listening, I encourage you to give it a go. It ain't easy, ladies and gentlemen. There is a lot going on in this game. Now, we do have a Fear which comes down, bounces a creature back into your opponent's hand. And we get a Mother and I believe it's an Urchin. But when you play Urchin down, you get to steal an Ember, so that's a little bit strange. Now, we do see a Stealer of Souls coming down. After an enemy creature is destroyed fighting it, you purge it and gain an Ember. The creature you've destroyed, which is pretty good. Now, we've only got 1 Mother down, then we've got a Dodger. Now, Quigley does play 3, but like I said, 5 Mother between these 2 decks. So he's only got 1 Mother down. I might have seen that Dodger as a Mother before. Either way, he's got at least 1 Mother down. He's getting at least 1 extra card here. So that's helping him out a lot. Oh. And is it, like we saw in the last game, a Collar of Subordination? Actually lets you take one of your opponent's creatures and have it under your control. So he's got to nix that champion and Affiel using Collar of Subordination, which is kind of funny. Probably funnier if you're Quigley. Now, we do see another creature coming down here, which is going to help him out very, very much indeed. And no, it wasn't a creature, sorry. That wasn't a creature at all. That was... what was that? Is that Gongoozle? Might have been a Gongoozle. Yes, deal 3 damage to a creature, and if it's destroyed, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Used it to get rid of Doc Buckton, and then, of course, get your Ember back. So, Quigley's playing at a bit of a pace here, but it looks like he's ending his turn with 5 Ember, which is not quite enough. He's going to need 1 more if he's in the mood for reaping. Little bit sad. I'm sure he'll get over it one day, but, you know, it's not great for now. So over to Suzuki. He's not behind yet. His opponent hasn't forged a key, nor will he be on his next turn. So that gives him the opportunity to try and do something with this. Of course, Suzuki here, playing one of the very, very rare decks, doesn't play shadows. We don't see many non-shadows, and oh, this is beautiful. He's playing Gateway to Dis, which actually destroys every creature on the field. Now, you do have to take 3 chains to do so, but in a situation like that, where your opponent has a significantly better board position than you, that's good. He's then able to play an Arise, which puts both of the... It would put all of a particular house's creature into your hand. He chose Dis. All he's got is those couple of Stealer of Souls. Gets to put them right back down again. That worked out nicely, but it looked like... See, it's hard to tell on the Voltor logo, but it seems like Quigley actually did have enough Ember there, which is slightly worrying for his opponent, and gets down a Speed Sigil, meaning the first creature he plays every turn comes into play active, and then he gets Mac the Knife. That's really nice. That's really nice. Now also gets down a Noddy the Thief there. And yeah, he's rolling. He's doing very well. He's got his first key. Now, I know I said this before, but it looks like he's actually 5 Ember there, so 1 short of being able to forge. And his opponent looks like he's only at 4. Now, good news is he's getting some more creatures down, and getting creatures down is nice. But as we've seen time and time again in this game, it's not about creatures. Creatures don't win you the game. Creatures are good, but creatures don't win you the game, ladies and gentlemen. What wins you the game is Ember. And we do see this sometimes, that players have a good... I believe it was a Dust Imp, incidentally, just went down. When, you know, players have a good setup and lots of creatures and lots of artifacts, but it doesn't do very much. Not if you haven't got the Ember. Now, we did see a Positron Bolt coming down, getting rid of one of those Stealer of Souls, and then we actually get another artifact coming into play here, which I believe it's the Howling Pit. During their draw card step, each player refills their hand to 1 additional card. And that is you and your opponent. But in a card with Free Mother, if you've got Free Mother and an Interdimensional Pit... Sorry, Howling Pit. That's an extra 4 cards a turn. That's nuts. Oh, the good news is we got some healing coming down from Suzuki here. Actually ends up chucking down a Cleansing Wave. Heal 1 damage from each of your creatures and gain 1 Ember for each creature healed in this way. Now, it looks like he has got enough to forge there. Does Quigley? Yes. Quigley does have enough to forge. And this is getting out of hand pretty quickly. One of the things, and we saw this in the previous round, Suzuki doesn't have... Oh, he's even played it too much to protect. If your opponent's got more than 6 Ember, you steal the difference, essentially. And this is bad. Because he's not stopping his opponent. Now, it looks like Quigley's actually got enough to forge, and that's it. Just like that. 3 keys, and we saw this in the previous round. I started saying this, but the game moved on too quickly for me to finish my thought. If you don't have these ways to stop your opponent forging, you can find yourself losing very quickly, and that's what happened here. Quigley, I know he played at a breakneck pace, but Quigley was able to get a lot of Ember, and his opponent just wasn't able to stop him, and you can take advantage of that. If your opponent isn't able to stop you forging, if they're not able to steal your Ember, you can just go, I'm going to rush. And this is incidentally why Shadows is so popular at the moment. Suzuki had a good deck, but he couldn't do very much. Because his opponent just rushed out to a bit of an Ember rush. And after all of that, it's just nothing to be done. couldn't get rid of the ember, and it all went wrong. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's another round. I will be back. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to do quite a few of these. So I'm going to be back quite regularly until we've done every round from here. Shout out to Cascade Games for providing the footage. Shout out to you lovely ladies and gentlemen for watching. You may, of course, discuss this in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember to be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about games, including Keyforge, but not limited to. And then, of course, by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.